Last week we considered digestion of lipids in the foods on page 66. And the week before that we considered digestion of carbohydrates. This is what you should have filled in so far for page 66. This week we'll look at the protein in those foods. Let's look again at the example of whole milk. Last week we looked at the triglycerides in the whole milk as an example of a digestible fat. In the week before that, we looked at lactose as an example of a digestible carbohydrate. Looking at page 64, you see that milk is an example of a food with complete protein. So on page 66, protein is there in the milk to nourish the growing calf who drinks it. It provides amino acids for that calf to build the proteins it needs. So when the calf drinks the milk, it digests the protein in that milk down to amino acids, which are absorbed into the villi lining the small intestine. There they enter the blood stream, and the bloodstream takes those amino acids to cells everywhere in the body where those amino acids are used by the growing calf to build the proteins it needs for its muscles, its bones, etc. So when we drink milk, we also enzymatically digest the protein down to amino acids, and these amino acids are then absorbed into the villi, where they travel around to our cells where those amino acids are used to build the proteins that we need. So let's look at something like a pinto bean, which is a legume. We already saw that pinto beans have starch, but not much in the way of triglycerides, so triglycerides aren't listed here. Look at page 64 in the protein part, and you see that dried legumes are a food with incomplete protein. So I'll fill in here under a legume that they have protein. It's incomplete, but it's still good. That protein provides amino acids for the developing sprout to build the proteins that sprout needs. So when we eat a food like pinto beans, we enzymatically digest those proteins, and what we get are amino acids. Those amino acids are absorbed into the villi. They enter the bloodstream, and they travel around in the bloodstream to different parts of the body where they are used to build the proteins we need. So let's see what you can do to fill in the rest of this chart.